So today's practice is going to be a really quick hip release, and it's a practice that I like to do. Obviously in yin we would hold it for much longer, but because we're doing a speedy kind of practice today, I'm just going to show you this in a kind of faster fashion, but you can also, slow it down and hold the poses for a bit longer if you have some extra time today. So we are going to come onto our backs and we're going to do a nice little release for the hips and the lower back. So I like to start with my right leg just because I'm in the habit of doing that, but you can start with your left if you prefer. We're taking the right leg to the outside of the left ankle and starting with this kind of figure four shape. And then we're going to start to bring the left thigh toward the chest. Now you can have the hands under the knee, under the thigh like I'm doing here, or come and bring the hands under the knee. And it's really just whatever feels better in your body. We're looking for a stretch to the outside of the right glute. Now, like I said, in yin we would probably hold this for a couple of minutes, but we don't have that kind of time today. So we're just going to hold it for about 5 breaths. And keep trying to relax the pelvis and feel the leg bones get as heavy as possible. Okay, I'm going to release the clasp of the hands and I want you to imagine that you have super glued this right ankle to the left knee. Okay, because this bit's important. We're going to take the whole package over to the left and drop the right foot to the floor, but notice we've super glued that down, right? Now we're going to take this right hip and let it relax away from the right thigh, and you should feel an even deeper opening through the right glute. It's a little bit of a wonky one. You kind of sometimes have to play around with how the bones are positioned to really get that nice opening through the tissue. But once you've found it, again, about 5 breaths. And I really like this one because it gets into those muscles that can get really tight when we do a lot of walking or standing. It creates a real sense of freedom and ease in the lower body. Okay, and then coming back to center now, so lifting that whole package up, we're going to cross the legs so that the right knee is now underneath the left knee. And again, we're going to pull both knees into the chest, and we're going to hold that for about 5 breaths. And then, if you can, we're going to keep the knees glued together and drop the whole package off to the left for a twist. If that doesn't work for you, just uncross the knees and drop both knees over for the twist. So it doesn't matter which one you do, okay? I know some of you won't have the rotation to do the first option. And then we're going to take, if you have the space, the right arm out. I'm just going to take it to the wall. And we're going to feel this nice deep stretch through the right side of the body. Nice deep breathing. And about 3 more breaths here. Great, inhale everything back to center. And then we'll just take a moment with the knees bent, feet flat to the floor, knock the knees together, arms by the side, and just take a moment to notice right to left, even without the long yin holds. Pretty nice feeling of enlivening and movement through the tissues. Good. So we'll do all the same thing on the other side. Start with the figure four. So it's left ankle to outside of right knee. And then we're going to bring the right knee to chest, again holding the thigh or the outside of the knee, depending on what feels better in your body. It's pretty normal to be a bit different right to left, so don't stress out if you feel like this side is tighter or looser than the other side. You are not weird or broken. It's just very normal human skeletal variation, creating muscular variation, and also can be to do with lifestyle and how we hold ourselves, things we carry, that kind of thing. Okay, we're going to release that leg. I just have to scooch over a bit because I'm close to the wall. But for those of you who aren't, you've super glued left ankle to right knee, and then we're dropping the package off. And notice how I start to try and soften and drop back through the pelvis on this side. That gives me this beautiful opening through the hips. Go, come back up. Right, now we're crossing the knees if we can and pulling them in. Otherwise you can just pull the top knee in if that's easier for you. But hopefully you can do something like this. If you are really flexible, you can hold on to the ankles, but for most people holding this top knee is pretty enough. And so you can feel how they're kind of moving around different parts of the glutes and sort of these hip muscles that support and stabilize the body. So each of the shapes targets them slightly differently. It's a really nice little flow. If you do have more time or you're a teacher, you can kind of give people, you know, a minute or two or 3 or 4 in these poses and really get into these tissues in a really beautiful way. Good, and then you can either, like I said, just drop the whole package, or you're going to take both feet to the floor, drop both knees over, depending on your body. And we will take, if you can, your top arm out nice and long. By top arm, I mean in this case the left arm. And again, about 5 breaths. One more cycle. Good, inhaling it all back up. We'll take our feet flat to the floor, knees bent for a moment. And you can extend the legs, we'll have a mini Shavasana. We'll keep the knees bent if you prefer. And just feeling the energy and the free flow of movement of blood and fluid through the hips and the pelvis and the lower back. Beautiful. And we'll start to roll onto our sides. And come up to find a seat. And so that was a nice quick sequence just to relieve some stress and tension in the lower back and the sides of the pelvis. I'll see you tomorrow.